I mean,
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. We're back again with another live. I'm your host, Tyrus Filson, joined today by my man, Reggie, and we're going to have a few other guests potentially join in later on. But we got to unpack that game last night. The Washington Commanders have fallen to 1-1 on the season after a abysmal loss to the Green Bay Packers. And it was just tough to watch. Jaden was trash. Cliff Kingsbury and the coaching staff, they were trash as well. We give props when they succeed. You have to criticize when they don't succeed. You can't have it one way and not the other. You're going to have it both. So today we're going to be unpacking that game. And how you feeling today, Reggie?
I wish it was a better day. Shucks. I wish we could have won that game. But we don't deserve to win when you play like crap. And if you play like crap and you show evidence of you playing like crap, you don't deserve to win. And I'm glad we got beat the way that we got beaten. And I want to remind people the score wasn't as close as the game was. So just because the score was 18-27 doesn't mean they should have been a single digit. Like we was down literally the whole game by double digits until literally like the last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. So that game is not particularly close, but it is what it is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the score doesn't really tell just how bad the L was for the Commanders. I mean, they got beat down. They got bullied. Let's just be real. I watched the game from start to finish. I think that going into this game, I knew it was going to be tough because you're playing at Lambeau Field, and if I'm not mistaken, the last Washington quarterback, and I hate the fact that I didn't see this stat before the game. I saw it afterwards. I hate when that happens because I was riding confident, what I'm saying, on my team. Apparently, the last Washington quarterback to win at Lambeau Field was in 1988, Doug Williams. That's insane. That's crazy.
It
So
is. I saw
I
that
guess
stat you're
Jaden
talking
could not
about.
beat that.
That stat you're talking about. I seen that joint before the game, so I already knew in my head we might just lose this game. And then I made a prediction video on my YouTube channel, which it says right here, like way before the season started. This was before the Micah trade. This was before everything happened for the Packers. And I said we was going to lose this game because I was looking at the how many days between week 1 and week 2. That's a short day. Plus, Green Bay has back-to-back home games. Man, Green Bay can literally lay up in their beds in their own homes. For Jordan Love's sake, he's got a wife now. He's laying up in the bed with his wife. He don't even have to move. So for us, it was just like it was expected, but I went better. I wanted to see something better from them, and I didn't. I got worse. But go ahead.
Yeah. Having two home games to start the season, that's a big advantage for Green Bay. But yeah, I'm right with you. Before the season, I picked us to lose that game. But I think, you know, earlier in the week, I picked Green Bay, and then we get closer and closer, and I let my heart kind of override what my head was thinking. You know, what I was thinking in my head, I should have went with that instead of going with my heart. I went with my heart this time, and this is the result. So I I should have stuck. I should have stuck with my gut. My gut was telling me Green Bay. My heart was telling me go with the Commanders, and it turns out my gut was right this time. Um, Green Bay is a special football team. I think that this season they have the potential to go to the Super Bowl. In my preseason predictions, record predictions, playoff predictions, Super Bowl predictions, I have the Green Bay Packers. I have the Green Bay Packers winning the NFC and going to the Super Bowl. I don't have them winning the Super Bowl. I have them losing, but I think they can get to the Super Bowl. They can win the NFC. And that was before the Micah trade. I made that
Mm-hmm.
prediction before the Micah trade. Then they went and got Micah, and it's like, oh, that further solidifies the fact that this team is going to be elite. I had them winning the division before Micah. They go and get them. They're going to win the NFC North. and they
Mhm.
have a strong chance of winning the NFC. And I want to bring that point because yes, the Commanders got embarrassed yesterday. We're going to unpack more. Yes, they got embarrassed. The game plan was trash. Jaden Daniels was seeing ghosts. He was trash yesterday. He wasn't like terrible because he didn't have any turnovers. He was trash, but not terrible. Um, but with all that being said, the Green Bay Packers are a good football team. They are one of the best teams in the NFL. Like the Commanders didn't get embarrassed by the New York Giants or the Cleveland Browns or the New Orleans Saints. Like we lost to an elite football team yesterday. The team that's going to probably be playing in February. They have that potential. That's who we lost to yesterday. And you're going to win games, you're going to lose games. The biggest thing that kind of pissed me off about how we played yesterday is the fact that you win some, you lose some, but it's about how you play. They played terrible yesterday. They played embarrassing. They played like they didn't game plan. I get the game plan is kind of rushed because it's a short week. You have the game Sunday, you go to Thursday. That's not a lot of preparation.
Nope,
But
nope, nope, nope.
still got to be
Because
prepared.
Dan Quinn literally came out. Okay, this was by his words. He's not about to bullcrap and lie to you. He came out and said we was looking past the Giants. We were preparing for the Green Bay on Thursday night. They asked him in a press conference, how do you feel between week 1 and week 2? This was before the regular season even started. Like, you didn't even play the Giants yet. And you basically said, we're looking past the Giants. Oh, but we're focusing on Green Bay. So let's think about this. Hey, you lost to the Giants, then went and lose to Green Bay. How that look bad on you? It's going to look awful. So I'm not giving Dan Quinn, I'm not giving him I don't want to hear that he didn't have. Like, wait, I do want to hear. Let me rephrase that. He did not have those guys prepared. Yes, I do agree. But you blatantly lied to the media and said that, and now I got to look at you differently because you lied. You lied to your fans. You lied to the media. That's why everybody thought Green Bay was going to lose that game. But unfortunately, they didn't lose that game because one, the coaching staff was unprepared, and two, they didn't deserve to win, and two, they didn't deserve to win.
Yeah, well, preparation is very important. Dan Quinn saying that it's very disrespectful to the Giants. Some things just don't need to be said. You could still prep. You could still prep, and it could just be like, okay, we're gonna do that, and let it be that. You don't need to really even say that out loud. But whatever prepping they did, whatever preparation they did, it clearly wasn't enough. It clearly was not good enough or wasn't effective because Green Bay, from the start of the game to the end of the game, did what they wanted to. They did what they wanted to. And like I said, Jaden was off, but there were times in this game where we had moments where we could have taken it or tied it up, and we let ourselves down. The defense actually gave the offense chances. They did. They started the game solid enough to give the offense chances. The offense
Mhm.
was stale. They were slow, they were stale, and they couldn't execute. And eventually, with the defense being on the field as long as they were, of course they're going to get tired and they're going to start letting up. That just happens. You got offense has to put together drives, and they couldn't. Too many carries to Austin Eckler. Too many carries. Let's start it off with this. We talked about a few guys, but let's start it off with the offense. Cliff Kingsbury. What was that? What was that? Why are you giving old man Austin Eckler? Um, this is I'm on my last legs of my career. I'm about to retire. Austin Eckler. That many carries. And we saw what the result was. He tore his Achilles. He's out for the season. Why would you force feed him the ball knowing he's probably our shortest running back and he's slow? He's a receiving back. He's a receiving back. He is not your running. It's 1st and 10, and you're giving Austin Ekeler carries. Now it's 2nd and long, and you're giving him another carry. It doesn't make any sense. JCM is clearly the best running back in the room, and they're neglecting him.
I want to add on.
And you go out there, he had like 4 carries yesterday. It's embarrassing.
What?
It's embarrassing. Does Cliff Kingsbury know his personnel?
No.
I mean, it sounds like the fans know the personnel better than he does. And I'm not trying to overreact because, look, it's week 2, but that was bad. It didn't look like Cliff Kingsbury knew what he was doing at all. Not at all.
I want to well, let's introduce Joey to the before.
What's
but
good,
I do
Joey?
want to
How you feeling,
back
man?
to what you're saying, man.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Great. I can't complain. Well, I'm complaining, but I'm good. I'm good.
Doing great, man. How you feeling?
Why you complaining, man? Why you complaining, Reggie? What's up? Talk to him.
Like, for me, and I'm going to piggyback to what you say, Tyrus, this offense low-key has not looked good at all this season. Thinking about the Giants game, it was 6-14. The Giants was getting manhandled with no Andrew Thomas, and that D-line playing an A++ game, and the Giants was only down 1 possession. And if Deebo Samuel do not get that touchdown, we would be talking about the Giants potentially winning that game. And look at all the plays happen. Marshawn Lattimore, which we will get to him. Russell Wilson underthrowing deep balls. They kept throwing moon, but like I don't know what the Giants' offensive game plan was, but I'm telling you this: if Jameis Winston or Jackson Dart was in that lineup instead of Russell Wilson, I promise you, the Commanders would have lost that game easily. And maybe that's me just not being like I should believe in my team. Yes, I believe in Jay and Daniels, but the free agent additions that Adam Peters has done has been undeniably a failure. Like you signing Javon Kinlaw, who's on his 3rd team, a 1st-round draft pick on his 3rd team. Frankie Louvu, yes, he was All-Pro last year. Congratulations. But it's a reason he's been ghost for the past couple games, and it's a reason this is his 3rd team, too. So all these guys that you signing, yeah, they may be good for 1 or 2 years, but then that 3rd year comes and they acting like, yeah, they acting like there's some trash. And it's like, we gotta stop putting over value. I don't know. I feel like Adam Peters is trying to invoke the San Francisco way, just like how Ron Rivera tried to do the Carolina way. And we knew what happened with the Carolina way. Kept signing guys that was former Carolina Panthers. At that point, it was almost like the Carolina Commanders or Carolina football team. But, you know, I'm going to let Joey go ahead, but I got more that I want to get to on the back later because there's some problems with that defense that needs to be addressed. And it's going to be starting with Marshawn Lattimore. But go ahead, Joey, because I know you just came in here.
No, I just came in here. I just wanted to see what y'all talking about. I do agree with you. I want to see Jackson Dart get an opportunity. That's really what I was waiting to see since he's been at Ole Miss. But obviously, they're going to give the veteran Russell Wilson priority over that. They're going to give him opportunity to either elevate the Giants or if they decide that he's not enough and he's not getting them to where they need to be. Even though the Giants, their ceiling is not very high, they can't go very far if we're being honest with the pieces that they have. It's not going to work. But I do want to see him get an opportunity. So I do like Jackson Dart. Really, the thing I want to talk about, and Tyrus, I want to talk about the Commanders game. Really, last night, it was looking really slow for the Commanders throughout the entire game. I mean, they got a touchdown late, but the Packers they were sending so much pressure to the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, he didn't have a lot of time in the pocket, if we're being honest. He was scrambling. It was slow. Like, what was it? It was 14-3 at the end of the half. The Commanders couldn't really get anything going till the end. Tucker Kraft looked great. Tucker Kraft looked amazing. I think he had 158 yards and reception and a touchdown. He had a field day. Josh Jacobs, he had 23 carries, but he didn't rush for that many yards. But obviously, he continued his touchdown streak. Green Bay just looks like a well-oiled machine. Jordan Love was playing amazing as well. I love his ball placement throughout the entire match. He was being aggressive, picking up yards on his feet as well. So I don't know. Green Bay look like a little bit of a powerhouse after last night, just a little bit. I just want to stay tuned with them for the rest of the season because Micah Parsons, it flipped them from last year. They look completely different. That's all I got to say at the moment.
Before Thomas, you stepped in, the mention of Tucker Craft. You know who we facing next week? Brock Bowers. So we facing Brock Bowers, maybe the best tight end in the league behind a healthy George Kittle, and that's just a maybe. I think he's the best tight end in the league. So we're facing Brock Bowers, who can be a receiver, who is a receiving tight end. And which linebackers do you trust to stop Brock Bowers? Like who do you trust to stop Brock Bowers? Because I don't trust no corner because he's too big. Linebackers are too slow, and then actually, if he don't have a good night on Monday Night Football against the Chargers, his best game is going to be against us. I'll be shocked if that's the only way we will win is if Jaden Houdini. But go ahead, Tyler. I know you probably want to move on to something else.
I'm not too worried about our next game. I think we're going to rebound. I think that this loss, we lost to an elite team. The Packers are a very good team. I think that they have the potential to play next February. They have that potential. And Jordan Love, he's an elite quarterback. They have an elite roster. I thought they were an elite team before they traded for Micah. Then they got Mike, and I was like, okay, they really going to run it up this year. They're going to be a solid team. But the defense, we did solid in the run because I thought Josh Jacobs was going to tear us apart. But, the DBs are terrible.
Did you say Jordan Love is an elite quarterback?
He is.
No.
Yes,
no.
Yes, he is.
No.
Every top 10.
No.
Let me say this.
So,
every top 10 quarterback, every quarterback that's in my top 10, yes, they are all elite. Every one of them. So for my criteria of what a top 10 quarterback is
to be an elite quarterback, Jordan Love is an elite quarterback. He might not be top 5, but he's still
mind you, hold on. Mind you,
okay.
In Jordan Love's second season starting, he took the Green Bay Packers to the NFC Championship with a bag of chips as wide receivers. Did we forget that? Jordan Love. Oh, my fault. One game away from the NFC Championship. They should have beat San Francisco, but Matt LaFleur and his game planning let them down because Matt LaFleur is a good coach. He just doesn't do very well in big moments. But Jordan Love, he's an elite quarterback. What are we talking about? Jordan Love would have had a Super Bowl by now if he had a better roster.
I don't know. Look, I'm not saying I don't like Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is good. My problem is with Jordan Love, his interception. He's too much turnover prone, in my opinion. And then another thing is, I just don't know if this offense can take me to a Super Bowl. Like, receiving core is still suspect. That's why I'm still out on the Packers. I know their defense legit and pretty much, I'm not saying the defense is trash. I'm not saying that because they're not. They're elite. We know they're elite. The addition of Micah Parsons gave them better. I'm not saying Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs are trash. They are great for what they do. It's just I still have questions about the interceptions, one, and then two, the receiving cores. If you're telling me them receiving cores are going to turn into prime AB and prime Julio Jones, then look, we can book them for the Super Bowl. But I just don't know if, maybe I'm too down on the Packers.
Let me ask you something. Go ahead. I'm gonna make it quick, Joe. I'm gonna pass it right to you. My fault. Let me ask you something. Who were the elite receivers that Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl with? Name them.
If you're talking about elite receivers, there
are none because Patrick Mahomes didn't have any elite receivers when he won those Super Bowls. And if you're telling me Patrick Mahomes did that in the AFC, then in the NFC, I think that Jordan Love, Jordan Love is one of those players who can elevate those around him.
Tyreek wasn't an elite receiver?
Tyreek wasn't elite? I'm just asking, was Tyreek wasn't elite?
I'm talking about post Tyreek. Of course Tyreek, but post Tyreek.
I mean,
you talking post Tyreek. You said
Super Bowls. Yeah, he got Super Bowls with Tyreek. So maybe
Tyreek. So
not.
that's the only reason.
How many years
Oh, go
ago?
ahead.
Tyreek is struggling in Miami right now. We're talking about Patrick
That's only
Mahomes. He
because
won after
that's
Tyreek.
only because he's in Miami though. I wouldn't say that's
That's
No.
that's more of it.
It's we got to be real. We got to be real.
Gotta be
Tyreek is a
real.
dog, right?
Yeah,
He's a dog, but his attitude is not of that of a champion. It's really not.
that's true.
I'm just
That's
being
true
real.
because if his attitude was that of a champion, he would still be on the Chiefs. But that doesn't knock his greatness as a player. I think he put himself
Of
in a
course
lesser
not.
position because he wanted more shine, and now he's not able to get that because Tua is doing whatever. I can't even. I don't even know. Tua's the Dolphins.
I think the Dolphins should trade both of them. Both of them.
I mean, they
Who?
probably could. They probably could get leverage for Tyreek, but it's kind of a matter of he's their attraction because Tua is not doing it. Tyreek is probably the number one name on that squad.
All right. Speaking on Tyreek, would you trade Tyreek for Terry?
Right now?
Like right now, like at the trade deadline. Let's just say at the trade deadline. If the Dolphins struggles and then Jaden and Terry are not on the same page, still, do you trade Tyreek for
No.
Terry?
No, you don't do that. You want to know why you don't do that? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's more than just player for player type thing. Because Tyreek is clearly the better football player, but the thing is, Terry McLaurin means too much to the culture of the team. Like you put Tyreek and replace Terry McLaurin with Tyreek Hill. That locker room isn't the same, and the locker room matters in football.
That's true.
Tyreek, I respect Tyreek. He's a great football player. I seen him play live, destroying us, and he was a monster. You know, Tyreek is a legend, future Hall of Famer. But Tyreek Hill quit on his team last year, and and I don't know if anybody saw, but they asked Tua about that this past training camp, and he was just like, "Well, I can't act like that didn't rub me the wrong way." And so obviously his teammates feel some type of way about that. You want to know why they're not going to win? The leadership has been bad. The relationship between the coach and the player seems kind of weird. It's not on the right. It's not what it's supposed to be. And also, if the players don't respect Tyreek, one of their best players, the locker room's messed up. It's not unified. They can't win. They're not going to win.
Yeah.
But as far as Washington though, the blame can go to everybody. Nobody was good yesterday. I would not give no game balls. Nobody did their job correctly. Like the main person that I was most pissed at though was probably Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore is probably the weakest link on our defense. He's absolutely embarrassing. I'm not trying to turn this into a clip, but it's probably going to be one because he's just so embarrassing. I mean, Adam Peters traded for this man last year at the trade deadline because we needed a DB desperately. And we thinking we're going to get Marshawn Lattimore. He going to heal up from the hamstring.
Right here.
Come back.
I got it. I made a video on it. Ooh, but the catch was crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
The catch was crazy.
The catch was crazy. Like that's good defense. You can't even be mad at that. But he was getting dotted up. I ain't gonna lie.
He was. Sanchez was struggling too yesterday. Mikey Sanchez was struggling too. The only good guy that was good yesterday or decent was Trey Amos, like second.
No. Let me stop you right there. No. Nobody was decent yesterday. Trey Amos got ran over because he doesn't know how to tackle. He's in the NFL and he has all the drip. He has the sleeves, the visor. He wants to make cool posts and look cool, but he can't tackle. He just can't. He's probably like
and that's why Adam Peters
out there trying to look cool. He can't tackle. I'm just being real.
Yes,
I like DBs that can tackle and not just cover. They can come down and make a tackle.
Yeah, you're right about that.
But I mean, we got to start having some uncomfortable conversations about Marshawn Lattimore, because you trade for that man last trade deadline, and it's looking like we got
Benjamin
washed
St.
up
Juste.
Lattimore. No, I'm not gonna go that far. No, I'm not going that far.
It's gotten to that point, man. It's gotten to that point. Gotten at that point. Trust me. Everybody gonna say he looked good against the Giants. He did not. If Russell Wilson does not underthrow those footballs to Malik Neighbors, that stat line would have been worse. I'm telling you, he has not looking good since we traded for him. And like you said, it's time to have a conversation about the bad picks that Adam Peters has made. Look at the picks that he's made. We got Luke McCaffrey, who has not developed very well for some reason. Okay? Jalen Lane. We could have got Luther Burden. Javon Kinlaw.
You said for some reason, Reggie, you said for some reason, I'll tell you the reason. We should have never drafted Luke McCaffrey. You know why he got drafted? Because his father was in the NFL and his brother's in the NFL. Let's be real. Luke McCaffrey has played wide receiver for 2 years in his life and got drafted to the NFL at that position. If you guys want to say all this DEI hire and no, this man, Luke McCaffrey, is in the NFL because of his brother and his father. He is not a good receiver. I don't know why he's still on the roster. I don't know. He's not fast. He's not athletic. We don't throw him the ball. Like, I can get it. I get it if you're on a team and like you're fast and athletic, but you just can't catch very well and you got to work on things. I can work with that. He's not fast. He's not athletic. His routes aren't very good. I don't know too many things he does well. I'm just being real. Being real.
Yeah. Like we just missing and then we got and then Johnny Newton. We could have got Cooper DeJean or Quinyon Mitchell instead of Johnny Newton. Everybody's looking at Howie Roseman and said, yeah, we looking at, but Adam Peters, if you looking at all the picks and trades he's made, most of them, like 80 to 85%, has been low-key a disaster. And people are not talking about it because we made the NFC Championship last year, and we got a quarterback that can be the eliminator and the eraser of all things. But if he can't be the eraser, then what this team is? What is it?
The roster's bad, man. The roster's just not good enough.
It isn't.
Look, man, I'm just ready for my Ravens to play. That's all I care about. Get our first one.
This man.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. I was watching that game, like I was hurt because we was winning the whole time. We did everything but win the football game. And it's those little mistakes that really come back to bite us. But I feel like it's good that it happened in the beginning of the season. Like we needed this. It was a smack in the face. So we gotta see it because I'd rather it happen now than it happen when we're playing in January, February, like we seen against the Bills last year. The fumble by Lamar and a terrible pick. That was a terrible throw that he threw. It was in no man's land. Those mistakes they caught up. Like granted, he drove down the field and he brought the game back, but we should have never been in that position in the first place. And that's really what hurts us at the end of the day because we're doing everything. The chemistry with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson is looking way better. Like last week, Lamar rushed for probably 40 yards. Next play, like immediately after, we handed off to Derrick Henry. He's gone touchdown. It's easy, but the mistakes and everything that we do along the way, we hurt ourselves. We beat ourselves, and the defense completely collapsed in the last 5 minutes. But that's another story.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay. Speaking on that game, the Ravens and Bills, that was a good one. That was a very great game. And
heartbreaker.
That's the one time where like the Ravens choked, and I can't say it's on Lamar this time. It's really not.
It's usually not. It's usually not.
No, sometimes
it is.
It has been. But, y'all never want to say it's Lamar's fault ever.
No. It has been Lamar's fault. But when you guys say it's Lamar's fault, it's not always his fault. Like sometimes. Sometimes he'll make mistakes throughout the game, and he'll come back and fix it. But he's not the only one that makes mistakes. Like last year, yes, he fumbled. Yes, he threw a pick. But Mark Andrews also fumbled. Mark Andrews dropped the 2-point conversion, and then we go back to 2 years ago when we played the Chiefs. Zay Flowers, when he's trying to extend the ball into the end zone, if he doesn't get the ball punched out right before and it's a turnover for Kansas City, or he doesn't get a flag near the end zone and bring us back, the game could go completely different because they're all one-score games. I'm not saying Lamar's perfect by any means and he doesn't make mistakes, but not all the games are his fault.
All right, here's what I got a problem with, okay? We know it ain't Lamar's fault this time. We know it ain't Derrick Henry's fault this time. We know it ain't Zay Flowers' fault this time. There's one guy to blame for all of this.
Oh,
and
hold
he's had
on,
too many.
Hold up.
You don't even know where I'm about to go with this,
hold up. Here we go again. No. I need to stop you right here because this is the problem with people that are so exaggerating when they watch football. You just said, okay, it's not Lamar's fault. I'm cool with that. Absolutely. He played amazing. Then you said it's not Derrick Henry's fault when he had a crucial fumble late in the game. Stop. Just stop it. He fumbled late on their own in their own area, right? And then the defense still had a chance. Don't get me wrong. You have to hold accountability to Jair Alexander.
All they needed was one stop.
Derrick Henry has been in the league and he's going to start forever. Hold on to the
5 minutes. That's true. He made one mistake though, and you got to understand he rushed for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's not like he just fumbled the ball and didn't do anything. He was the reason we had that big of a lead in the first.
That big of a lead.
Nobody
had fumbled when it mattered.
He did, but we were still up.
He fumbled when it mattered.
15.
We were still up 15 when.
Y'all was up 8. Y'all was at up 8. Thank you. Get rid of the coach. I'm so glad he said it. There is no way in John
Harbaugh
when you
defensive coordinator. Okay.
Well, I want defensive coordinator, but get rid of the head coach too. Get rid of the head coach. John Harbaugh has the most blown double-digit leads since 1991. 17. And you're telling me all that talent that's on that football team, and you're still finding a way to blow double-digit lead. These are all the games they were up on and lost. And yes, you can say it's a talent thing. Yes, you can say Lamar chokes some lead. Yes, you can say this and that. But talents play, talents go. At the end of the day, there's been one common denominator, and that is John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh has to go. If Lamar Jackson wants to win a Super Bowl, it won't be with John Harbaugh. And I don't know why Ravens fans are trying to keep giving him the pass, because I remember Pittsburgh fans asking the same question about Mike Tomlin. Oh, we should get rid of Mike Tomlin because he was losing in the first round. But then with John Harbaugh, oh yeah, because everybody was asking the same thing about Mike Tomlin. Oh, he should leave Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, people didn't care about Mike Tomlin's not undefeated streak, but not winning over the game. They kept talking about what you're going to do for me in the playoffs. But now we're not trying to attract that same energy for John Harbaugh. All I'm saying is we have to be fair. That's all I'm saying. The same energy that Mike Tomlin got when they were trying to question his coaching style and see why he wasn't winning playoff games should be the same energy for John Harbaugh. That's all I'm saying. Tyrus, you're right. Derrick Henry fumbled the football. And Derrick Henry shouldn't have done this. But this is the same. When you have a Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry on offense, you got to let them boys close. And since when they got up 40-25, they never let them boys close. And I blame Tom Monken, I blame John Harbaugh, and I blame that defensive coordinator. And I blame Tom Monken the most because you know what type of talent you have. Them boys got you 40 points. Them defense was stopping the Bills. What changed? Why would y'all get so scared now? Why was Zach Orr so scared to play the same coverages that made Josh Allen see ghosts? Although he didn't throw picks, but there were a couple picks he should have threw in that game. And I give Josh Allen all the credit in the world. He did amazing. He did phenomenal. But at the end of the day, when you have Lamar Jackson, the most talented QB in the league, and Derrick Henry, one of the most talented running backs, not just in the league, but of all time, you got to let them boys close. And Tom Monken did not do that. And John Harbaugh should have told Tom Monken, we got here with our boys, let's finish it with them. Because the same way Derrick Henry was running in the first half, when he threw that football, he was timid. And I saw it. But maybe I went on a little rant because for me personally, I don't like the fact that Mike Tomlin was getting all this hate for what? Because he wasn't winning playoff games, but then John Harbaugh wasn't winning the big ones. Oh, yeah, it's okay. The Ravens going to get back next year. It's not about the Ravens getting back next year. John Harbaugh has not won a Super Bowl since 2012. We are with 2 quarterbacks now. Joe Flacco, Lamar Jackson, and he still hasn't won a Super Bowl. So at what point does John Harbaugh get the blame? And what point does Raven fans say, enough is enough?
I mean,
I can't do this no more.
If you're being real about it, Reggie.
Go ahead.
I'll make it quick. Shout out to my man, Mr. Ron, Net Worth Nation in the chat. You know, he's agreeing with Reggie right now. If he was on this channel like he usually is, he would probably be saying, hey, Reggie's speaking facts. And I'm here to tell y'all both that you are wrong. John Harbaugh gets all of the blame all the time from Ravens fans. Lamar Jackson gets no blame at all. The defense hasn't been the same since Mike McDonald left. The defense, if anything, I'd say, hey, look at the D coordinator, make some adjustments. But John Harbaugh is a Super Bowl winning coach. Has he failed? Has he made mistakes? Yes. But please, I'll wait. Tell me what in this game he should have done there. Him, John Harbaugh specifically, what should he have done differently? Todd Monken, the OC, he let them run the ball late in the game. What happened? Derrick Henry fumbled the ball in their own territory. The defense, let's go to the defense. Who does that fall under? The D coordinator. They were playing they were playing coverages that weren't going to work because guess what? You're not just facing Josh Allen. You're facing the clutch Josh Allen. In the clutch, Josh Allen is a different beast. Josh Allen, if you leave him enough time, he's going to find a way. What did he do? He found a way.
That's true.
What do you want John Harbaugh to do?
That I don't think the blame goes on John Harbaugh because the Ravens had a considerable lead. At that point, it doesn't come down to coaching. At 5 minutes left, as a coach, you're up by 2 scores. You know what you have to do. You're telling your players what he's a Super Bowl winning coach. They've won playoff games every single year. It's not John Harbaugh's fault. There's little stuff that happens throughout the game that has to get fixed. The fumble was crucial. Granted, the game is not all on Derrick Henry the same way it's not all on John Harbaugh. There's mistakes all around. It's a team effort. You got to understand there's offensive, defensive coordinators. There's 11 guys on the field. Everybody has their own job. You can't just push the blame. Oh, we lost. We blew this lead. There's so many factors. Like Tyra said, Josh Allen, he played amazing. He did exactly what he needed to do. He got the ball with little to no time and made it happen. They went for the extra point. They got the lead. He drove down the field, got them in field goal range. He did everything he needed to do. That was a Josh Allen masterclass as much as it was a great Ravens game. So I can't sit here and say it's John Harbaugh's fault because they've won playoff games every year. The team is successful every year. Granted, they haven't been to a Super Bowl in forever, and they haven't won one in forever. They're still always contenders. They're still always there, and he puts together a great game plan.
So I'm going to answer to both of y'all. Joy, let me ask you this. When it comes to the most talented rosters in the NFL, team-wise, would you say Ravens are number 1?
Yeah, they're either 1 or 2.
Yeah, if they're not 1, they're 2.
Okay. All right. So now that question been answered. What could players, when they play 60 minutes of ball, and this is where Bill Belichick, and I know Bill Belichick has not the disrespect for Bill Belichick, I understand. But this is where a guy like Bill Belichick deserves a lot of credit for this because he made sure his players wasn't lackadaisical for 60 minutes because it's easy to get lackadaisical when you're playing 60 minutes of ball. This is what John Harbaugh could have did. He could have made sure that both the OC and DC instill in their players' minds, y'all got to make sure them boys close it out. Because I know Josh Allen. He's no Josh Allen. He's played Josh Allen before. This is nothing new. This is really nothing new. You said they're the most talented roster in the NFL, yet John Harbaugh, as the head coach, with some of the most talented rosters he had for over the years, has blown 17 double digits leads. At what point? At what point is like enough is enough? Like, you got to make sure as a coach, you instill that mindset. Bo, we know who we playing. You can say
Reggie.
Josh Allen.
You can
Allen.
instill any
Reggie.
mindset you want. When going into that drive, he's not telling Derrick Henry to fumble the ball. He's not telling the Ravens
Like, that's what I'm saying.
to let them score or lose the game. You can only do so much as a coach. Go ahead.
Let me say
I
this.
just want to say that.
Let me say this, man.
All right.
The way that you and a lot of Ravens fans are putting all this blame on John Harbaugh every time that they have a choke game or they lose in the playoffs. My thing is, you're putting all of the blame on him. And absolutely, he deserves some blame because managing a game when it's close is very important and it separates coaches, of course. But we're not going to sit here and the way that you just sat here and said, look at how much talent's on the roster. Look at how much they're probably the first or second most talented team in the league. Oh, I could use that same argument for Lamar freaking Jackson. I always hear about how great Lamar Jackson is. And yes, he is great. He's a top 3 quarterback, if not top 2. Lamar Jackson has had super teams for years and has failed. Matter of fact, we could go ahead and say it. He probably won't play for a team better than what he's already played for. And he came up short time and time again. And it's always been, well, it's John Harbaugh's fault, no matter the situation. Now, this specific game, not at all on Lamar. He played amazing. He did what he could. The guys around him let him down, to be honest, in this specific game. But I'm talking about if we're going to reference other games and overall, you can't just use that as a negative against John Harbaugh. You got to also use it against other players too. Lamar has a team that it's a super team. Let's be real.
I don't know about super team.
Okay.
He has
it absolutely is, bro. He
has a very talented roster. It's one of the better rosters in the NFL.
So does Philly not have a super team? They don't have a super team.
Philly,
not anymore.
They still have a super team. Yes, they do.
You think Philly still have a super team?
Philly's roster is through the roof. It's hard.
I'm not saying they're not great. I'm just saying super team. Like the secondary is a little questionable.
I mean, but you got the best running back in the league.
Okay, you can say they have a super offensive team, but you say super team like they got like I'm not saying
is their defense not formidable? Did you see what they did against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
But they lost a lot of pieces too. That was a super team last year because every backup that came in was doing great. You can't say that this year, though. You can't. And you saw that against the Cowboys.
I get what you're saying. But the Eagles.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say like the Eagles to me still have a super team. The Ravens are a super team. And I hate to go there, but I have to. I'm gonna do it. The difference between those two teams, the biggest difference, is the quarterback in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson is a way better quarterback, than Jalen Hurts. But in the playoffs, there's something called clutch, and Lamar Jackson has not been very clutch in the big moments. But you know who has? Jalen Hurts. I can't lie. Jalen Hurts shows up in big moments. And hey, they both have super teams, but what do they do with them? They both have super teams.
I get what you say. It's just the reason I'm putting a lot of this on Harbaugh, and maybe I should have cleared what I said, because maybe I didn't say it the way it should have been said. Every year, players come and go. The roster gets different every year. But there's one thing that has stayed the same, and that's John Harbaugh. I'm not saying the players don't deserve to get blamed because at the end of the day, players play and you're getting paid for your play. But it's too much of a reoccurring theme with this particular head coach. And my confusion with this is, and like Ron said, if this was any top tier coach in the league, he said any Andy Reid. If this was Bill Belichick that had the most double digit leads, if this was an old Mike Tomlin that had so many double digit leads, what would we be saying? We would be calling for their jobs. Am I sounding like it? Am I calling for John Harbaugh's job? Yes, it does sound like I am. But all I'm saying is this should get more attention because according to y'all, this Ravens team is either the best or the second best, most talented team in the NFL. And I'm not saying that the Ravens can't lose games because at the end of the day, it's sports. You win some, you lose some.
Week one.
But the manner in which you lose consistently is sometimes a question. Why are Ravens teams under John Harbaugh letting up double-digit leads? Because I seen a Mike McDonald come and go. I've seen Zach Orr. He might say and then he might go. But the same common denominator has been John Harbaugh. And I watched somebody on, I forgot where it was on Twitter, but they even said that John Harbaugh has to do a better job of instilling, like not even just confidence, but instilling team defense. He has to do a better job. And he's not doing the better job. Think about it. John Harbaugh has had a leash on this Ravens organization since what, 2008? What is the average NFL coach stay? 3.5, 4 years maximum? Mike, there's only a few guys that stay more than like 7 years that's been coaching. Andy Reid for the Chiefs, Mike Thomas for the Steelers, and then John Harbaugh for the Ravens. And if
What
I'm
does that
missing
say
They all
something,
have
I'm
something
sorry.
in common, by the way. They all have something in common.
About them as a coach, though.
Yes,
He's
the same Andy Reid that could not win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia and got fired before he went to the Chiefs. And I love Andy Reid. But what I'm saying is great coaches get fired too. All I'm saying is the same thing we was talking about Mike Tomlin about winning. I think Mike Tomlin needs to leave Pittsburgh. But if I said Mike Tomlin's got to leave Pittsburgh, then I'm going to say the same thing with John Harbaugh. I think the Ravens need to go into a new direction. But if you're going to go into a new direction, you need to make sure you hire the right coach. And that is the only reason I am not getting rid of John Harbaugh, because I feel like what other coach where they find out there that could be a little bit better than John Harbaugh? That's the only reason.
Exactly.
You're
I'm
not
not getting rid of him.
You're not going to do better. You're not going to fire John
We,
Harbaugh.
we're talking
Get another
about. I
coach
get what
that's
y'all
gonna
saying.
propel the
Oh,
Ravens.
my fault, Joey. My
Now
fault.
you good. And then Evan Jones says it's about winner mentality. I do believe that the Ravens have more of a sense of urgency playing from behind. We've seen that throughout the years. And they tend to start off games slow, especially in the playoffs. I was talking about that game 2 years ago against the Chiefs. Really slow game from Lamar. His throwing yards didn't come through till like the end of the third quarter. But I just feel like it's week one. Granted, the Ravens were supposed to complete something over the past 3 years. We were expecting something from the Ravens more than what we've got. But the amount of playoff wins that they get every year, they're always competitive. So I can't come back and throw all the blame on John Harbaugh and say, well, he's the problem. This is why the Ravens are not winning, because it's everybody. We need to close games. It's as simple as that. But I'm still looking at it. I'm biased. I'm a Ravens fan. I'm still looking at it as upside because there's room to improve. And we played that well, but there's still room to improve against one of the top teams in the league. You got to understand, like that was one of the hardest games we're going to play throughout the entire season. So that's getting us ready. It felt like a playoff game. The vibe, the whole game, it just felt like a playoff game because it's two top three quarterbacks in the league going at it. That's what you want if you're the Ravens. That's
My bad, Joey.
Nah, go ahead.
My only question to you is this, and I agree with everything you said. You're not wrong. I know, and I'm not saying this is panic mode. I know it sounds like I'm panicking for the Ravens. I'm not panicking. They're gonna still win that NFC North. Respect to Steelers, respect to the
AFC.
Bengals. AFC, I'm sorry, AFC North. Respect them. but Ravens are going to still win. But there's people out there saying now that if it goes back to you in Buffalo or Baltimore and Buffalo in the AFC Championship game, then y'all might have to travel to Buffalo again, and then nobody's going to have y'all winning because the last 2 years in the playoff, or the last 2 years from playoffs to the week 1 in Buffalo, y'all lost. So what they go like my only thing, and I'm not saying Ravens can't win that game because they can show they can win. It's just the doubt starts creeping up in the fans' eyes, saying, "Well, we can't beat Buffalo in Buffalo. The only way we can beat Buffalo is that they come to us." And Buffalo, like, they about to have a good season. Now they might lose Sunday to the Jets, but if it gets back to a Buffalo, some people might think,
I don't know about that one, Reggie. I don't know about that one.
think about that defense. That defense,
Not the Bills.
that defense can get hacked by the run, and the Jets did a good job on the run. So I'm just saying.
You know, they just gave up like what 33, 36 to Aaron Rodgers with one leg.
Yeah, like
but
Josh Allen is going to
there's
torch them.
no way. There's no way. I don't.
It's a divisional game.
Losing against the Jets.
I'm just saying. I don't see it either, but I'm just saying. Don't be surprised. A divisional game. Ed Oliver is out this week, so I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'll still be surprised though.
It's still gonna be the Bills winning. But I want to say shout out to my guy Coach Jones tapping in. This is one of my coaches when I played.
Okay.
Shout out Coach Jones. Man.
Shout out Coach. Yeah.
But yeah, look, y'all, I gotta get off this. I definitely appreciate you guys having me. Tyrus, anytime, text me. I'm gonna try to make it. If I'm not at work, I'm gonna come. We're gonna see what happens Monday. I know Chargers play. I got Justin Herbert on my fantasy team, so I'm waiting. That's gonna be an easy dub, though. I ain't gonna lie. You seen what he did. You seen what he did to the Chiefs.
Nah, I got the Raiders winning. I got the Raiders.
You got the Raiders.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, you tripping.
I got Chargers.
Yeah, I got Herbert's another overrated quarterback. Overrated.
He's overrated.
He's overrated.
Yes, he's overrated. Yes.
What?
Oh my God.
He's not in my top 10. He's not in my top 10. Sorry.
So wait. Can I hear 10 quarterbacks better than Justin Herbert real quick? Just name them. Before.
Oh yeah, I'll pull it up because I got the list on Instagram.
Yeah,
my fault.
just count them out. I'm gonna
give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up all the quarterbacks that are better than Justin Herbert. And here's a hint: they all have playoff wins. Okay. There's a
he does
right
have 0
there.
playoff wins, so I can't argue with that. But I just want to hear.
He doesn't just have a playoff 2 playoff losses. He has a 3 interception game in the playoffs. There's that. So
you got to understand his line hasn't been the best either, or his receiving core.
I mean, neither has Jaden Daniels, but I'm just saying.
Jaden Daniels had a good receiving core last year.
No, he had one good receiver. The rest of them were all trash.
He made them look a lot better, but
there it is. He made them better. That's what Justin Herbert can't do because he's not great.
The Commanders as an overall team was better than a lot of than what Justin Herbert has.
Okay, think about this.
I got the top 10 right here. I got the top 10.
Let me hear it.
Okay, let's go. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Easy.
Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Lamar freaking Jackson. Jackson. Number 4, Joe Burrow. Number 5, Jaden Daniels.
Easy.
Number 6, Matthew Stafford. Number 7, Jalen Hurts. Number 8, Jared Goff. Number 9, CJ Stroud, who embarrassed him last year in the playoffs. Number 10, Jordan Love. And honorable mention at 11, Justin Herbert. So I got him at 11.
I'm taking Jared Goff out.
Argument could be meant for Jared Goff. I don't.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
If you put Jared Goff on that Lions offense, I'm telling you, they are Super Bowl contenders in that NFC.
An argument could be made for CJ or Jared Goff. Everybody else is. I'm agreeing with you 100%. Everybody from 7 and up, that's easy. But
Jared Goff has gotten a team to a Super Bowl, and Justin Herbert can't even get a playoff
with a lot better pieces.
Look at
the Lions. Look at the Lions' offense last year.
No, he got it. He did it with the Rams. He got to the Super Bowl.
Brandon Cooks, who was still elite at his time, a young Cooper Kupp Todd Gurley, who was on his way to the Hall of Fame winning career, and
What's
Sean
up?
McVay. Come on. And you know what Bill Belichick did? Bill Belichick said, you know what, Jared Goff, we're going to force you to win. We're going to stop the run, and we're going to force you to win. And
Well,
they scored 30 less points than they did in the regular season in the Super Bowl.
But all I'm saying with that is, now we're comparing Goff and Herbert. All I'm saying is this, right? I think Goff is a better quarterback than Herbert. That doesn't mean I think so highly of Goff. Goff is really not a clutch quarterback. He's not that great either. He's not clutch, but hey, he got a team to a Super Bowl and he did what he had to do. Herbert, he absolutely choked last year in the playoffs. He choked. He's not a quarterback who can elevate those around him. He's proven that. And I think that if he proves me wrong this year, I'll eat my words and I'll backtrack. There it is. Yeah, I'm wrong.
Let's go back to the year Justin Herbert. First year, Tyrod Taylor gets that injection. He comes in, throws 31 touchdowns as a rookie with a bad offensive line. Second year, Keenan Allen started to get hurt. Mike Williams started to get hurt. So he didn't have his number one or number two weapons for majority parts of the season that time. Then year three, the defense was historically bad under Brandon Staley to the point they blew that 27-7 lead for the Jacksonville Jaguars to win. They fired Brandon Staley. Then year four, they hired Jim Harbaugh and they made the playoffs with an average offensive line and with one wide receiver in Elijah McConkey. Yes, they lost to Houston, but Houston defensively was better and Houston offensively was better. That is a fact. So we not about to disrespect Houston and say it wasn't good. They were awesome that entire year. CJ struggled, yes, and then this year they got back at Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, who looks like he's about to be on the rise. Hopefully, I'm putting that in quotations because he had problems the year before. But still, I think this year Justin Herbert. Look, I was like you, Tyrus. I didn't believe in Justin Herbert, and there's still questions about Justin Herbert. But when you look at everything that he had to deal with, this is finally the year. Now, they did lose Rashawn Slater, so that does hurt. But everything else is more like healthy for him. He has a receiving core that is consistent. You may not like them this year, but they is consistent. He has a running back in Omari and Hampton. Remember, they had Melvin Gordon. They got rid of him. Austin Eckler, who you just said is not a lead running back, they did that with the Chargers. You forgot about that, or you might did forget about that. But you said Austin Eckler, who's not even a lead running back, was the lead running back for the Chargers. So I want you to understand, the Justin Herbert experience, because I think the problem was, yes, he didn't win too many games, but with the surrounding pieces. Just like you said, you don't believe in Jared Goff, but you believe in what he can do because he has the pieces. Justin Herbert is more talented. If Justin Herbert was on that Lions team, the Lions team would have been easily the clear number one favorites to get to the Super Bowl.
You can't sit there and say that because Justin Herbert in big moments has failed time and time again. So with the Lions being the team that play in a lot of big moments,
the Lions roster would have allowed Justin Herbert to elevate. Yes, he's choked. Yes, he's made mistakes. He hasn't won a playoff game. But you look at that Lions roster last year. Look how far granted, they fell short and they underperformed because Jaden Daniels played amazing and he made them look silly.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If you swap Jared Goff and Justin Herbert in that game against the Commanders, they still lose the football game. They still lose.
I don't think so.
Because Justin Herbert went through 3 picks to me. I don't think he would. He might do a pick.
He wouldn't do what? He wouldn't. He threw 3 picks in the playoffs in the first round. But he didn't have
the receiving core that the Lions.
But the receiving, think about it. And one of them picks, Will Disley had it in his hand, flipped the ball up, and it went to the defender. So one of them picks was pretty much a fluky pick, if you're really looking at it.
Oh, okay, fine. Let's take away the one of 3 picks. Now it's 2. That makes it so much better. Justin Herbert
but you don't get credit to Houston defense
in the NFL. He has choked, and we just need to leave it at that. Like we are too nice sometimes when it comes to these millionaire NFL players. Like if you did bad, it's okay. I do think Herbert's going to get better. I think he's going to progress, but as of right now, he has choked. It happened. But he's gonna get better. He's gonna get better.
I get it. He's still top 10 in my eyes, though. I don't think Jared.
I think he's top 10. He may be 10,
Like,
but he
where
might
you
be.
ranking him, though?
I'm gonna die on that hill.
I'm taking
Where you
Jordan
ranking
Love.
that 10?
Jordan Love is 11 for me. Jordan Love is 11.
No.
Yes, Jordan Love is 11.
Jordan
I'm
Love's
sorry.
not coming off that list. Jordan Love's definitely not coming.
Oh
off
my
that
God.
Wait, where is Herbert in your top 10? Where are you ranking him in your top 10?
If I were to put Herbert on mine, he's either 9 or 10. But he's
Yeah.
but he's still up there. It's not like he's just not there. But I ain't gonna lie, Reggie, Jordan Love got to stay there. If you kicking anybody off, it's Jared Goff or CJ Stroud. And
What about Baker Mayfield? I mean,
No, he's not top 10. No, you want to know why? People,
Not top 10.
Baker Mayfield literally
been
led the
playing great.
NFL in turnovers last year, and people keep saying he's top 10.
And I think Baker Mayfield does amazing with the weapons that he has and the pieces that he has. I feel like he elevates that Bucs team as much as he possibly can. But I still don't think he's top 10. He's not better than any of those names on that list. So, unfortunately,
Jordan Love.
Hey, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And top 10 quarterbacks, they don't go on they don't become journeymen. Sorry, they just don't. Top 10 quarterbacks don't become journeymen. They don't go from team to team. I know he's found his spot with the Bucs, but the dude literally was tied for the most interceptions in the NFL last year, and you still had people saying he should have been a Pro Bowler over Jaden Daniels. You guys,
no, I didn't agree with that. I agree with that.
You can't lead the NFL in interceptions, and like, what are we talking about?
You're right. You're definitely right about that. But yeah, once again, I appreciate you guys for having me. Tyrus, text me whenever. Thank you, everybody that contributed to the conversation. Reggie, y'all have a good night. Man.
Yeah. Y'all
appreciate you too, bro.
I appreciate you.
Man, always love chopping it up with you guys, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's sports. Like sports is, and I know I know everything that happened the past couple of days with the whole, situation with 9/11 and the Utah Valley campus shooting of Charlie Cook and all that stuff. But this is why sports is such an amazing thing because, it gives a sense of community, a sense of togetherness. I'm looking at, even the Packers game last night, they honor Charlie Cook. No matter what you think about the political ideology or whatever. And look, has he said some things that we haven't liked? Yes. Has he said some things that offends people? Yes. But this is America. America is free speech. And at the end of the day, a man shouldn't have lost his life over opinions, whether you like the guy or not. And that's what happened with him. I'm not going to get too much into the logistics and all that stuff because the FBI, they found the suspect and all that stuff. But go back to sports. This is why sports is such a good platform to just speak on because, everything that's going on in this world today is getting scarier by the moment. And, all we got to do is just pray, but just that sports give us a safely and that sense of safety and security with, talking opinions without having somebody overtopping us 24/7. Think, oh yeah, we say the wrong things and this and that. So, like I said, I'm sorry for, the family members and loved ones of Charlie Cook. Shouldn't have happened. The violence got to stop one way or another. And, it'd be interesting to see what comes out of this. If it took a death like Charlie Cook for everybody to open their eyes now and see that, gun violence is not just a white and black problem, it's an everyday problem, then hopefully they do something about that and, go from there. But sports just is an amazing thing to talk about.
Absolutely. It can be a good way to, get your mind off of everything going on. So, but yeah, man, I want to say I appreciate you for joining. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Shout out Mr. Ron. Shout out Coach Jones for tapping in. And shout out everybody who tapped in tonight on the live. Just unpacking that Commanders L. And we also got into the Ravens' recent L versus the Bills in Week 1. But overall, just want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning into the Fourth and Goal Sports YouTube channel. And Reggie,
Prediction score. Prediction score. I know we're not going to be on next week. What's your prediction for Raiders Commanders?
I'm gonna say we might have a live to predict that. Yeah, we will probably.
Okay.
Yeah, we will probably have one, but I'm definitely gonna post my predictions and stuff like that on the IG.
Okay.
For those who are not following the Instagram, follow 4th and Goal _sports on Instagram to stay up to date with my videos and my content and all type of updates. But like I said, guys, thanks for watching. I'm your host, Tyrus Wilson, joined by my man Reggie. Have a blessed day. Have a productive rest of your week. Peace.
Peace. Thank y'all. Thanks, Tyrus, for letting us chop it up.